opening statement from the head coach, then open it up for questions for the student athletes. Coach?
Well, first of all, we're excited to be here, obviously, and it's been an emotional season for us with our pitching coach battling for his life and recently passed, and I'm just proud of our kids for the way they've been able to maintain their focus and put together a strong season and win the Big Ten championship and have an opportunity here to play in the NCAA tournament in a very, very strong and competitive regional here at Texas A&M. So we're looking forward to trying to get refocused and recentered here and back to playing the baseball that we have for most of the season.
Opening up for questions for the student athletes. Rich?
Dalton, can you address that a little bit? Because you probably were, most affected by what went on there in the pitcher.
Yeah, just as far as everything with Coach Oakes. Yeah, I mean, it was a tough couple of weeks that we've had recently with him passing. But ultimately, he's in a better place and his suffering is over. So there is some peace in that. And I mean, I think it's just helped us too in terms of just staying motivated and perspective. We've kind of stumbled a little bit the last couple of weeks here, losing some close games. But ultimately, baseball is just a game, and we're not defined by our wins and losses, and that was a big thing that Coach Oakes T.O. taught us. So I think even though he's gone, his messages, his ideals, he still lives on through this team and his family.
Matt, could you give us a follow-up on that?
Yeah, I'll echo everything Dalton said. Since I've been on campus, T.O.'s been fighting leukemia. He's had 3 bouts of it since I've known him in the past 3.5 years. So I think the past couple weeks have really been kind of culmination of those 3 years for us, or those 3-4 years for him as well and his family. We were all extremely emotional learning that he had been moved into hospice. We knew his fight was over, but as Dalton alluded to, it was good for us and it was good for the family to kind of have some closure. T.O.'s a strong man of faith. A lot of us are as well. So we know he's in a better place right now, and we're hoping to kind of play with the attitude and carry on those lessons that he taught us.
Rich, do you have any?
Matt, can you guys address, being in the tournament for the first time and what kind of emotions you're going through with that and the feelings of getting that chance to go on?
Yeah, we're really excited. It's been a long time for us at Minnesota since we've been here. We have a strong tradition, and we're really proud to add to that with another appearance here. We're excited to be here. This is awesome. A&M is really cool so far of everything we've seen, and we hope to kind of turn it on. Dalton said we struggled a little bit in the past couple weeks. We're ready to go, ready to make some noise down here, and just have a blast doing it.
And that being said, we are excited to be here, but we're here to win too. We're not just happy to be here. So.
Coach, you guys taking on Wake Forest tomorrow. Give us a little bit of a scouting report on Damon Dinkins. Been giving up too much.
Well, honestly, they come from a very, very strong conference. If you look at the regional bids and what schools that they have in their league in the ACC, and very strong team. Looks like they've have some balance between offense, defense, and pitching, and so I've tried to focus more on our team. I think our emphasis has been trying to get our team back together here in a good place and ready to play, and haven't focused a lot on Wake Forest because I think it's about us and how we play and what we do, and we know they have an outstanding team. Obviously, they're in the NCAA tournament. They come from an outstanding conference where they're challenged week in and week out, no different than the Big Ten conference, and so I think it's going to be a very good ball game and very competitive ball game, and I'm sure it'll come down to who can make the one pitch, the one play, and take advantage of a miscue if the other team makes it. So I think it's going to be a very, very competitive game, and we look forward to playing a very strong opponent from the ACC conference.
More questions for Coach?
Coach, with the additions through all this realignment that the Big Ten got, you got some baseball teams in there that really have seemed to give some depth to your conference. How did that change the Big Ten, and how has that prepared Big Ten teams now? You talk about ACC, Maryland out of the ACC, you got Nebraska that came out of the Big 12, for longer runs in the NCAA tournament.
Well, I've been connected to the program for over 40 years, so I've seen it all in my tenure. I think the league today, no question about it, the league top to bottom is very similar to the top conferences in the country today. Every weekend there's no easy games. Everybody's improved their facility. Everybody's hired new coaches. A lot of the schools have. There's people losing their jobs in our league, obviously, because they haven't won enough. And so the financial commitment that the league has made across the board to improving facilities, coaches' salaries, indoor facilities, training centers, the amount of money we have to spend to travel in February and March to try to be competitive. The league has made a huge investment in upgrading our competitiveness as a league, and it's evident when you play in the league every weekend. There's no easy games, and we played at Purdue the second to the last weekend of the year, and if you looked at their records, you'd go, okay. But when we played them there, they were a lot better than their record showed. And again, it comes down to what I just said. I think if you look at the league, it's a pitch, it's a play, it's a call, some good fortune, a bounce. And so I think our league is very similar to the other top leagues in the country. You have to play well over 8 weekends in the league to win the league, or someone's gonna beat you up. And so I can remember days in the league when there were some games on the schedule you could point to, and you just felt like you had more talent or better team than the other team in the league. I don't feel that way anymore in our league at all. And as you saw in the Big Ten tournament, the A seed got to the championship game, and that's a reflection. All the games were very, very competitive, and we talked about it as coaches that were there, that anybody could win the conference tournament. It's that even. And so it's made the league better. It's been more fun. I think it does prepare you for this stage a lot better than it used to in terms of the competitives. Everybody has somebody now. Everybody's got a pitcher. Everybody's got a great player, position player, 2 or 3 or 4. So everybody's got somebody now in the league, and you got to find a way to beat those somebodies every weekend. And I'm proud of our kids because we played very well over a long period of time in our league, and we went 10-1 on the road in the conference, and if I remember correctly, and so to play at that high of a level on the road and against the quality of competition, I just think it prepares you to play in the NCAA tournament like the other leagues have been able to do for their teams.
John, what stands out when you look at the Aggies?
What stands out? I don't think there's a weak link there at all. I mean, they're strong in all 3 phases of the game. Offensively, look at their numbers. They're very talented. They have, looks like to me, a whole host of arms out there in their staff, power arms, and people with very competitive stuff and play strong defense. So you don't win the SEC and tournament and put together the year they do and win 20 games in that league unless you have a very, very strong baseball team. And so they're very talented, very well coached. I knew Rob Childress when he was at Nebraska. They're an exceptional team, and that's why they're the national seed they are, and that's why they're hosting, because they have a strong baseball team. But I think in the game of baseball, you can get beat by anybody on any given day, and you can beat anybody on any given day. And I think that's what you'll see in the NCAA tournament here is, like I said, everybody's got somebody, and you can beat anybody on a given day, but you also can get beat by anybody if you don't play your best baseball.
What were your impressions of Coach Childress back when he was at Nebraska, and what was that relationship like?
Well, obviously he's very passionate about the game. It looked like, from my viewpoint anyway, he was a strong teacher. He had his philosophy is, at that time, I think he was a pitching coach there, if I remember correctly, and his pitchers were well schooled. They were able to execute multiple pitches, attack the strike zone, and he was very passionate, very driven, expected his kids to play at a certain level and play the way that he wanted them to play, and I was impressed with him. I thought he did a fantastic job there at Nebraska, and wasn't surprised when he got an opportunity here at Texas A&M because I thought he was a very talented coach and really seemed like he got the best out of his players.
And Anything else? Rich?
Matt, you're aware of Will Clark for Wake Forest?
Yeah.
What's that gonna be like? I mean, you two are very similar pitching, really good hitters. I mean, are you looking forward to that? I don't say it's an individual battle because obviously it's a team game, but it'd be interesting to be you two on the same field.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. I think Craig has gotten a lot of national attention as a two-way player, and you look at his numbers; they're unbelievable. He probably is up for National Player of the Year. So, getting to compete against somebody like that is going to be really fun, really challenging for us. I don't know if he's going to throw it all for them in that game, but it's going to be really exciting. It'd be cool to get matched up with him at some point, either on the mound or at the plate. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
What does it mean to you that you've been able to kind of carry on a tradition of two-way guys?
It's been a big honor, and it's a testament to our coaching staff. 14, is really open to the idea of doing it. A lot of guys get to come in and get the opportunity to do it. They're really supportive. The whole coaching staff, is flexible with me, works with me. You look back, and like I said earlier, we have a really strong tradition of baseball. There's been a lot of really good two-way players. Just to carry on that legacy means a lot to me, and I think the fact that other guys have been able to do it just is a reflection of how good our staff is and how flexible they are with our players.
Coach, when you have weather conditions like this, do you have any special plans for is it just one of those things you cross your fingers, hope you get the game in, but if you don't, what do y'all do?
Well, I think I learned in my career you can't, you try to control the controllables, and I think if it's game time, you got to put your best pitcher out there and see where it leads you. I think to try to play the game of what if, or maybe this is going to happen or that happens, I think more times than not you get caught probably making the wrong decisions. So I think when it's game time, you go with the plan you have in place and just make adjustments as you go along based on what the weather does, and that's something we can't control. We're going to try to control to be ready to play when it's time to play, and we'll make some adjustments as we go along if the weather leads us down a different path.
Have you had a situation like this in a weekend series this season?
Oh yeah, we have. We were at Michigan second weekend of the year and had to deal with the snow and cold, and game got stopped because it's snowing too hard. So actually we finished the second game with after a delay with our third starter. So you just adjust based on what you have in front of you and try to win that game and worry about tomorrow when tomorrow comes. And so yeah, we obviously we play in some challenging weather conditions during the course of our spring, and so you're forced sometimes to look at these decisions, and so we've had practice at it. Our players have had practice. They're used to sitting through delays and different things that come up, and so I my career I've had experience with it, so we're prepared for that. I don't see that being an issue here based on some of the things we have to go through in the course of playing Northern baseball.